What's up? Happy Monday. Here we go. Episode 98. Let's do it. Cheers! Happy Monday! Wow. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cue the record. Oh, good Lord, the leader. What's up, everybody? Oh, we got a great group in here already. I see my mama jumped in. What's up, moms? We got Lilith, Jason, William, Dan, a lot of people in here. Holy moly, I can't keep up. What's up, everybody? Come on in. It's Monday, my favorite day of the week. I'm definitely in a bouncy mood. I had a weird day today. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how to explain it. My energy level was... It's not that I didn't have energy. It was weird. I felt a bit zombified. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Let me just make sure everything's working here. I had a lot of glitches today getting this ready. So let me know if it sounds good, looks good. What else before we get rolling into this stuff? If you're new, welcome. This is Evening Hour Live, episode 98. My name's Cardone. My first name's Adam. What else? I mean, if you're new, hit that stupid subscribe button. My God, it's so hard to get subscriptions on here. They don't send your channel out much. It doesn't go far. Like, I literally searched for my show today, and if I didn't word it exact, it wouldn't show up. That's how crazy it's getting online. Too much crap. So I get it. So, yeah, come on in. If you're new, this is a chatty show. If you look at the chats, look at them. There's a whole thing going on. We all discuss in here. Fallon, what's up? Welcome. We have a chat going on. This is a discussion show. And, yeah, if you're new, say hi. That's all. Friendly group here, smart group, very thoughtful. Welcome. Thank you for being here. As for my mystery boxes go, we haven't had anybody order one for a while, and I've got some cool stuff that I'm like, oh, this is for mystery boxes. I only have 2 of these left, and I'll give you a little, well, I'll show it to you. Now, the original boxes for these are hard to find, but they still make these. I have 2, and if somebody orders a mystery box, they'll get one. It's called Blonde in Bathtub Mystery. It's a magic trick. It's slightly inappropriate. And yes, I have 2 of them that will go in the next 2 ordered mystery boxes, along with some other stuff. So, if you're wondering what that means, it means read below in the description. You'll see people in here playing for points. Playing what, you ask? Well, the more you chat, the more points you get. Once you have points, you can gamble them. Peter Benedetti, what's up? Come on in. So, oh yeah, I'm going to talk about Toilet Boy stuff in a second. So yeah, so you chat, you gamble the points, you win points, you can order mystery boxes and posters. Free! Free. No charge. You don't even have to pay for shipping. How's that? Can't get any better. See, look, Jason has... Dan, you have enough for a mystery box and a poster. I love how some of these people have tons of points. Yeah. Welcome. So that's on the mystery boxes. Let's talk quickly Toilet Boy news. We played Wits End. It was a blast. It was, we're playing in a restaurant of sorts. You saw. We didn't play outside. We played inside. And we blew the place off. I mean, we blew the roof off. I mean, I don't think there's ever been anything that loud in there. It was amazing. And it's the first time we had played in 2 years. And it's the first time we had Paris Mayhew, Agros Cro-Mags, on guitar. Yeah, crazy. So, and it just took my points? Did it? I wonder why. If you order a mystery box, I'm just wondering how it took your points. I'm curious. I'm going to look into that. So we do have 2 Toilet Boy things coming up in the next 2 months. In a few weeks, on the 27th, we're going to be playing with Lunatics at Webster Hall. Can't wait. They're actually doing 2 nights. We're only on the second night, on the 27th, and I think it's almost sold out. So, Cassandra, what's up? So yeah, so that's coming up. And it's almost sold out. So there's going to be a large group of people there going nuts. I can't wait. And then December, hold on, I'll tell you. December 11th, Bowery Ballroom. Not Bowery, Bowery. Bowery Ballroom, it's this. Oh, God. I should have had this uploaded. Jesse Malin, annual show. It's a fundraiser. We're going to be playing. Murphy's Law is going to be playing. I think one of the gals from L7 is going to be playing. Lenny K from Patti Smith Group's playing. It's a big fundraiser for Howie Pyro, our fellow punk rock musician, New Yorker, old school dude. He needs a little help. That guy needs a liver transplant. We're going to help him out. So we're doing a big benefit show for that. You're learning Latin. That's cool. Sean's learning Latin. I like to read Latin. I mean, I like to look at it and decipher it. It's fun. What else? Yeah, so that's Toilet Boy news. Oh, tomorrow I get to do one of my favorite things in the world, and I haven't done it since the beginning of the lockdown crap. I'm going to go see an opera tomorrow, and I'm taking my little girl. She's never been. I could tell she wanted to go really bad, and she's got good taste in music and in art. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking my daughter to see an opera, and I picked one that I hadn't seen. I wanted to see it, La Boheme. I know it a little bit. I know the music a bit. I know the story a bit. I don't want to know too much of the story. But I'm going tomorrow, and I got good tickets. And I got this. Look at this. I'm going to put this out here and look. This is cool. These were my granddad's, and I still have them. He gave them to me. I still have the leather case. If you look, Fran, if you're watching, this is Fran's father's. These were his. And if you look in here, his handwriting is still in here. Property, Frank P. Lardieri. It even has his address. And look how beautiful these are. Now the case is falling apart. Look, it's really bad shape. But look, beautiful little opera glasses. And I've been using these to see shows for years. So tomorrow, I get to bring those and go see one of my favorite things in the world. Now, if anybody here's ever been to the opera, you know what it's like. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. If you like live performance and classical music, you can't go wrong. Now, if you hate classical music, you might as well stay home. I try to go at least 3-4 times a year to see the opera. As I get older, I don't go see as many bands as I used to. I've seen them all a million times. I also rarely go to Broadway, unless it's free and my friends are in it. Opera, I like to go see. I like that they're long, they're meaty. I got to do a little research. I got to pay attention. Every seat in front of you has a screen with the translation. They have the best gift shop, and the restaurant is to die for. What can go wrong? And you can get a good ticket for cheap. And I'm not kidding. If you sit in the balconies, you can get standing room tickets for $25, $30. You can. If you want to spend $100, you can get an awesome seat. You can get a seat in the orchestra section. So, yeah, I'm just telling you, if you like live, it's live. I go see it because it's live. I mean, I'm a classical music junkie, but I like the notion of someone's vocal cords making a sound and it coming straight to my ears. There ain't no microphone there. They don't need one. For me, it's out of the performance art world. It crosses over into a sporting event only because of the scale and the technique, the singing part. These people are vocal athletes, folks. When the show's over, they don't go drink and smoke. They got to wrap their neck up with a nice warm towel and go to bed early. Yeah, no joke. Yeah, Fallon, you know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of people in here that know what I'm talking about. It really is spectacular. And I'm lucky enough to live close enough to go see one of the best in the world, the Metropolitan Opera House. So, anybody here wants to learn about opera or kind of passively take it on as a hobby? Here's a book for you. Booyah. Right here. 100 Great Operas and Their Stories. It basically... It gives you an overview and a little bit of the history. Now, I'm just looking here for a second. What's the cover picture? I wonder what opera that is. It looks... Oh, it's some sort of passion play here. I don't know. That's Jesus. I couldn't tell. Anyhoozles. What else before I jump to the subjects? Yeah. So my phone died, I don't know, a month ago. And I got the new iPhone. I didn't get the fanciest version because they didn't have it. What's up, Joel? I got there's like the iPhone 13 and then the iPhone 13 Plus, I think it's called. I would have got the Plus. They didn't have them in. But I needed a phone, so I got this one. The camera on it's really good. And you know when you see colors in the sky, and then you take a picture and you look and you're like, well, that looks half as good. The new camera's getting pretty close. Now, it's not like standing there and seeing it with your total vision. It's the colors. They look good. So here at the beach, we have killer sunsets, and I've been really trying to take advantage of going up there, looking at it, and now when I take a picture of it, I can say, hey, look, it really is crazy. I posted one on my Instagram today it's hard to believe how bright red the sky got. It was truly spectacular. Take time, smell the flowers, folks. You know, it's funny, I say that. I'll go, hey, you should take time and smell the flowers. I tell people that, but it doesn't mean anything because you have to want to take time to smell the flowers. And if you're forcing yourself to do it, I don't know if that's going to work. I think the way to do that is, thank you, Lilith. I mean, I was freaked out when I saw it. I took about 10 photos, and that was the one I chose. I mean, it's the color. I'm a color freak. I was talking to my art buddy the other day, and he said, artists are either, they see the world in lines and shadow or in color. And I'm definitely a color person. I respond to colors and lighting a lot, actually. This room here I call the 7:30 room because it's designed to be 7:30 p.m. at all waking moments of the day. So when I'm in here in the morning, it feels like 7:30 p.m. That's what I wanted. I have a lot of rooms in my house where there's no light that gets in. And then I have rooms that are extremely sunny, and this is that room. So anyway, back to smelling the flowers. Yeah, you got to want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, I don't know what to do. You have to get something that wants you to do it. Yeah. The iPhone has a way of digitally doing a night shot that's great. Yeah, it's true. Well, let's get into the subject here. Oh, Amanda? 500 points. You're almost at a mystery box. I wanted to talk about some philosophy tonight that I've been chewing on that's blowing my mind. It's so fun to read and think about. It's literally blowing my mind. It's been exactly 1 year, folks. 1 year since I started doing this show. Well, not exactly. I don't know. It was give or take a week or two. But it's been a year. And I've been doing internet shows like this. But most importantly, in the last year, I really made an effort to get up in the morning and do this thing that I'm doing, which is studying and learning and reading. And I did it self-betterment. I felt a need to take things a little farther. And what I mean by that, and this is advice I'll give anybody. Whenever things are going well, whenever things are kind of moving in a decent direction, you got to work even harder. There's no time for slack. None. And so I decided a year ago, look, time's running out. I don't want to be 80 years old and do the I coulda, shoulda, woulda. No. I'm sorry, I'm hiccuping. I don't want to do coulda, shoulda, woulda. I don't want to be in a nursing home rotting, thinking about the things I wish I did. If I'm going to be in a nursing home rotting, well, that won't happen. I'll jump off a building before that happens. But before that happens, if I ever was sitting somewhere old and still healthy, but just kind of like reminiscing of things I didn't get to do, that's not good. I want to be where literally, and I talk about this all the time, my 2-year Maury plan, my filter, I run everything through. I want to be like, if you told me I got 2 years left to live, I got lots to pull off in that time. So why not do it now? I've always wanted to go to school for philosophy, so I just decided to do it myself. No need for help. I'll just read like a freak, write essays, and talk about it. What else is there to do? And so in this journey, I jumped into the philosophy thing hardcore. I don't know. I've been reading nonstop. And some of the stuff really woke me up. It didn't wake me up. It just, what's the word? That's the wrong word. Let me think about that. It stimulated me in a manner that I would say to people, it's like getting up in the morning and treasure hunting. I'm finding treasures. And through my journey of philosophy, I went through the Stoics, and I'm going through all these things. I'm still reading Stoic stuff, and I went to the Cynics, and then we get into the more modern stuff. And once I got to Nietzsche, Frederick Nietzsche, I hit a wall of sorts. A wall of, it's the first time I had one of the philosophers where his writings are so dense that 2 lines take me an hour to understand. I'm not kidding. I started reading Beyond Good and Evil a while ago. I'm not all the way through it yet. And I had to get a damn study guide right here. This. I had to get a study guide. This study guide's great. It was expensive, but it was worth it. Yeah, you're a project guy, Peter. Way to bring out your Zarathustra. And there it is. Yeah. I hit a wall with Nietzsche because he's kind of criticizing some of the notions that I was excited about. And read like a freak, man. I'm reading like a freak. And so It's almost as if sometimes I feel like he's making fun of the reader. And he is. So I wanted to talk about that. And I had a great, as I'm studying, first yawn of the evening. As I'm studying, I realized something about the character Walter White from Breaking Bad. And I want to bring it up. I'm going to have some spoilers, so if you've never seen Breaking Bad, don't watch when I start talking about it. It's a great show. Now, if you know me, I don't watch much TV or anything anymore. And even in my younger days, I didn't really watch much. But I'm going to say Breaking Bad blew my mind. Studying theater and acting and storytelling, they tell a good story. And the acting is phenomenal. And the end blew my mind. And I want to talk about how the show ends and its relationship to a will to power. Eric Hoffer. I don't know him, but I will look into him. I've heard the name. Vicariously. Haha, see? That's good. I mean, I'm getting to that point too, Lilith, where I don't care about a lot of things anymore other than I don't have to do them all. Like certain things I've given up on that are, it's great. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I never cared about that. Go away. Like I'm definitely filtering out a lot of stuff and bringing it more into a internal thing I need to do as opposed to a travel. Like, you know, I like to travel. I like to sightsee. I like to do things. Do I like that better than reading? No, not anymore. You guys know Mark Maron, right? The comedian. He had a really good act where someone called him up and said, "Hey man, want to go to the museum?" And he was like, "No, I've seen enough." I thought that was great that he had the guts to admit he was sick and tired of going to museums. I'm like that with a lot of stuff now. I don't like theme parks. I don't like long lines. I don't like large crowds. I don't like. There's a lot of things I've weeded out. That I saw that never mind. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Lilith, totally. I'm with you. I ain't no spring chicken, and there's a lot of things I just don't need to, you know, I can look up stuff online for now until the online stuff turns into what China has, which is horrible. Well, Breaking Bad is definitely will to power in such a profound manner and such a simplistic manner. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So some of the things I learned about Nietzsche, well, okay, Beyond Good and Evil, the first chapter, well, okay, before we do that, the title of the book is not Beyond Good and Evil. The title of the book is Beyond Good and Evil, Prelude to a Philosophy of the Future. Now, whenever a book, I'm going to sit in my, I think better when I cross my leg. I don't know why. It's true. I do. Whenever there's a subtitle to the book, I read it because the author clearly had a reason for putting it up there. I mean, we live in a world of such vapidity and stupidity and shallowness. I say shallowness more than stupidity. I don't like to use the word stupid anymore because that's a very relative word. And it also has the word stupid is not one thing necessarily, as I've come to realize. But vapidity, shallowness, not much to it. There's so much of that when I see a record cover, I don't go, wow, I wonder why they did this. You know, I don't care anymore about why most artists do things. But Nietzsche clearly chose each word carefully. So, Beyond Good and Evil, Prelude to a Philosophy of the Future. So it's saying that it's not the philosophy of the future. It's not like, and this is the philosophy of the future. No, it's the prelude to it. It's the fleshing things out part. And I think that's very important. The first chapter of this book, which I've been on for a long time, chewing on, is really wild. It's the prejudices of philosophers. And it's where he craps all over all of them repeatedly. And at first, it sounds like he's kind of full of it. But as you really dig deep into it, and you realize that he has really valid points. My inner Buddhist. I do have a little Buddha in my backyard that I love. He's sitting in the corner. So one of the notions that blew my mind is Descartes has the saying, I think, therefore I am. And I think what he's getting at with that one is he's like, look, we can't trust our senses all the time. We get deceived by many things. There's many things going on. The only thing you're sure of is I think. And if I'm thinking, I'm something, right? And I heard this one professor use a surgeon's knife analogy. He's like, look, the surgeon, to do a good surgery, his knife has to be clean. It can't have any extra stuff on it because it's going to taint what he's about to do. And so with philosophy, the philosophers are all trying to find the truth. So what do? They're trying to get rid of all their preconceived notions of life and all the things they learned and start on a clean slate and then look at the world and start to read and understand things. And so Descartes is going to the beginning. He's saying everything doesn't matter. It's one thing. I think, therefore I am. And Nietzsche just destroys this. Because Nietzsche, the easiest way to understand it is he's like, well, does anybody see where the problem is in that? I think, therefore I am. The problem is the word I. It's like a singularity. What did he call it? An atomistic or atomistic? I think atomistic sounds better. It's an atomistic need. We think in wholes, not in parts. It's easier. And so he's considering it being a one unit of a thing, I. And Nietzsche's like, how do you know that I isn't not an I? It could be more than that. And Nietzsche always thought as a person to have different things inside of us that make up the whole I. And in our mind, we have the higher, the middle, the lower, just like neuroscience shows. When I finally got my head around that, I was like, wow. Now, another notion that I've been thinking of a lot, and I talked about it last week, is the journey to the Ubermensch, the Superman. And why someone would want to do that. Why someone would want to study philosophy. People go, wow, that guy's got a noble thing he's doing. People tell it to me all the time. They're like, wow, you have a noble thing. You're waking up and self-reflecting and making yourself better. Good for you. As if I'm some sort of do-gooder. And according to Nietzsche, anybody that studies philosophy, it's just your will to power. It's you trying to become more powerful. And he's right. That is what it is. Now, I want to talk about will to power today because a lot of people don't understand what that means. I didn't. After I read it, I didn't get it. It took me a little while. It's not easy. The atomistic need. One self, one world, one God. Everything's in these big, giant units. According to Nietzsche, the will is a collection of drives. And so is the self. Wow. Oh, God. Here, this is detailed. Here's something else. The mother of all assumptions. Truth is preferred to falsehoods. The search for the truth, a noble search for the objective truth. It's actually to gain power. And truth and falsehood. Oh my God, we could go for hours on that one. I'm not going to get into that one today. I know of the book, Joel, Gay Science, but I haven't read it yet. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this will to power bit, because this is what I wanted to chew on, because this is where Breaking Bad comes into play. And if you don't know the story of Breaking Bad, it's about a school teacher, a chemistry teacher, who gets diagnosed with terminal cancer. And he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die, and I have nothing to leave my family. What am I going to do? And so he starts making crystal meth and selling it. And he gets involved in organized crime. That's the story. For the betterment of his family, to give his family something. I'll get into that in a second. So look at this, will to power. So before Nietzsche, Schopenhauer was his influence, but people would say, and I would have said this, what's the whole point of existence? It's to stay alive. If you throw a rat in the swimming pool, he's trying to stay alive, right? So it would seem it's just the most logical thing. We're wired to stay alive. People do prefer falsehoods to truth. It's very true, Bill. Yeah. In a really weird way, it's true. It's easier. Because if it's a falsehood, you get to play with it a little bit in your head. It's not as solid. It's a little more malleable. Will to power. Nietzsche says, you know what? This whole notion of staying alive, that's the bottom of the real thing. Will to power. The search for truth is the reflection of the personality of the philosopher. Yeah. So, according to Nietzsche, the will to power permeates everything. Us as humans, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the planetary kingdom, the universe itself. To be alive is to have a will to power. The existence of it. Now, I'm going to try to find some things here to put this into perspective. Check this out. This is where it gets nuts. Once I noticed it, I started to see it everywhere. If knowledge suits our needs, this equals power. Now, people go, well, what about somebody who doesn't want to be powerful? Well, that their will to overcome something has to be there. They have some sort of overcoming of something. To just be alive is overcoming something. Another good one, oh my God, here's one that I thought was amazing. Eating food. My will to eat has to be stronger than the will of the plant to survive. See how that works? You can find it in anything. So once I realized this, I was like, oh, I get it. It's almost like everything that's in motion or movement or going somewhere, to keep moving has to overcome something. And it doesn't necessarily mean I want to run the world. That's not what it means. It's you're overcoming something. So a will to power for me could be to overcome my lizard brain tendencies. I'm trying to beat them. Why? So I'm a better and more powerful person, and I'm more in control of my facilities. My reactions don't cause trouble, for instance. That would be one. So, okay, here we go. Primary drive for living organisms is the thirst for power. Will to life. Life itself is will to power, and self-preservation is only one of the indirect and frequent results. The philosopher's looking for power over knowledge and truth. Eating. Our desire for nourishment is greater than the desire of the food to remain undigested. It's a battle of will. The way of the world works this way. So that's what it is. It's everybody has a different will to power. Um, Under this will to power and a search for the truth, and looking for explanations of the world of philosophy, uh, we will prefer an explanation that fits our personality over ones that perceive that. Okay. Let me get to this. This is great. Oh, the word power. Okay. So, I mean, Nietzsche's power, I guess his interpretation was a very broad term. It's just overcoming. That's it. To overcome. That's what he would define it as. Here, this is great. In looking for explanations of the world or philosophy, we will prefer an explanation that fits our personality over ones that go to the objective truth. Now, I read a really great article about, this is going to get deep. So, think about why people are attracted to certain religious movements or politics. Most of politics, Democrat and Republican, if you draw out the characteristics of a Democrat or a Republican, they're personality characteristics. I'm not kidding. Look at this. It's crazy. It's really weird. And so what he's saying here to me rings very loud. All is force against force and nothing more. Effective would be better than power in some case. Interesting. Well, but if something's effective, that means it worked, right? So that would be power, I guess. But here's the thing. Will to power is not free will. When I look at Nietzsche's view of free will, it's pretty wild. He clearly did not believe in free will, but he believed in will. And he clearly didn't believe in all deterministic stuff. He was what they would call a compatibilist. He thought they kind of both could happen in a very weird way. Most of the compatibilists I've read redefine free will. So that's why, to me, it's non-compatible. It's different. He's a different view. That's where I look. I'm definitely don't believe in free will, but I still haven't seen it. I can't unsee the notion that every action has a preceding action. I can't unsee that anymore. I wish I could. And deterministic thought, meaning seeing where things go, I do it for my life and my work. How can I not buy into it? I live by it. So, force against force. Well, so that's the thing with the Nietzsche stuff, is he never got too scientific, I don't think, even though some of it fits. Now, let's talk about Breaking Bad for a second and this notion of a will to power. And here's where the spoilers are coming in. The show starts off a little bit like a black comedy. It's a little funny. It's super dark, but there's a little humor. You know, you're watching a school teacher go into the drug dealing business. It's kind of an amazing concept. And how somebody breaks bad. How do they go to that bad brain, you know? Why would that person want to go through all of that stress and torment? And you literally see it change him. There's a moment in Breaking Bad where they shoot a little kid because he saw them committing a crime. And some of the characters are like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And the Walter White character, I noticed it right away. You could see the indifference. He's very much like, yeah, it's fine. What? A little kid died. This is terrible. His brain's in a different category at this point. So throughout the show, his situation gets worse and worse and worse, and he's dealing with the Mexican cartel, and he's dealing with a hit squad, and these gangsters are after him, and the FBI's after him, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And this guy's a really smart guy. He's very cunning. He's creative. He's of a science mind, right? And so the grand finale, he's on the run. The law's looking for him. I think at this point, the news showed his face that the law's looking for him. He's literally on the lam, and his wife hates him for ruining the family. His son hates him. A lot of people hate him. And there's a scene where he visits his wife for the last time. And he tells her why he did it all. And to me, it was like this moment of like, wow, he's going to get on his knees and just say, look, honey, I did it all for the family. I didn't know what else to do, and it just steamrolled. But that's not what he says. He looks at her and he goes, I did it because I wanted to. I did it for me. I did it because I liked it. And it's the most honest moment of the show. I'm getting goosebumps thinking of it. There, he says it there. It was his will to power. He basically goes, honey, it was my will to power. It was getting more powerful, and I liked it, and it felt good. You know, you could see throughout the show the moments of his dopamine blasts. You know, when he takes out one gangster and he makes a lot of money, you can see it. I get it. Clear as day. And now, after reading this, and oh my, it's clearly there. I would say that's what that show's about. Wow, I wonder what Nietzsche would have thought of that. What's this? What did I write here? My values determining direction of change. This is interesting. The striving to learn purposes. So, according to Nietzsche, our values determine the direction of our lives and reality. And I always say this all the time. Anytime we get mad at anybody, whether it be somebody on TV, like on the news, or some political figure, or your friend or your family member, 9.9 times out of 10, it's a value judgment. You're looking at something they value that they're expressing, and you don't like it. And therefore, it makes you angry. When I noticed that, I blew my mind. Now, what does that have to do with the will of power? Our anger, does it help us? What does anger do? I watched today a video of, what's her name? The famous opera singer. I'm so bad with names. I don't remember names well. You would think, because I do magic shows for a living. Oh, Maria Callas. The opera singer, Maria Callas. She was very beautiful. She had a really crazy beautiful voice, but she was famous for throwing tantrums and being a freak. And there's an interview of Mike Wallace saying to her, why do you get angry? And at first she says, it's not true. And then you see, she's like, look, when we're rehearsing an opera and we only have a few days to pull it off, if I don't show anger quickly, people won't respond, and they won't do what they're told. Yeah, for the first time in his life, Walter White is rewarded for what he can do with his brain and his skills. Yeah, he's this genius guy teaching middle school science, and he doesn't see the value in it. He wants to be, he wants to be a scientist. He has a friend who is like a Nobel Prize winning scientist, and he is some schmuck that teaches 8th grade. Yeah, so his will to power is to go that route. and for people to take him seriously. So anyway, Maria Callas. Yeah, she's like, look, if I don't wield my tyrant, these schmucks aren't going to pay attention. So there she's using her anger as a tool. I haven't seen video of her freaking out. That would be hilarious if it existed. But did any tech people out there know what this is? This is a side note because it's on my monitor. Streamlabs is what runs this. That's what runs this show. And it's telling me, let your link in bio display when you are live. Link to what? Increase viewership and engagement by making it easier than ever for your viewers to see when you are streaming. Get started for free. What does that even mean? Does anybody know? If you know, cool. Kathleen. She's completely read up on Maria Callas. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I know about her passively. I've listened to her sing. Clearly, she was pretty good. Her voice was pretty amazing. She died at an early age. She was like in her mid-50s, and I think she had a heart attack. I think she dropped dead. Yeah. Anywho, Frederick Nietzsche, he really just... He's the punk rocker, the philosophers, as far as I can tell. He took it all and vomited it back out in a new way that's, at first sight, seems like a dense mess, but it's not. It's almost too organized, and I don't know. It's blowing my mind. It's the first time I'm reading the philosophers, and it's really not easy to grasp. I have to chew on these things for a while to really get a hold of what's going on. The Stoics, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, and then down to the Stoics, Epictetus and Seneca and Aurelius and all those guys, I completely understood them at first read. Plato's forms took me a second. But other than that, it's been a pretty easy journey until I get to these new guys. Even Camus I got right away. Out of the modern guys, he really is taking this to a layer that's sub-basement layer. Sub-basement. He's going so deep that he's picking apart the very word I in... Oh! LinkedIn? I don't think it's LinkedIn. I mean, I'm running Streamlabs, sending it to YouTube. I gotta have my tech child look at this. Any hoozles. I don't know where else to take this today. Any thoughts on this? Do we have any Nietzsche fans out there? Bill Yon, have you ever read Beyond Good and Evil? Because if you haven't, I think you'll like it. Yeah, you're the type that might really. I could see you did. I mean, a lot of you. Have you ever sat down and tried to read this? I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I mean, dude, the free spirit chapter. I mean, the natural history of morals. Wow. I mean, clearly Anton LaVey was influenced by this book, especially when it gets into the notions of falsehoods and why people prefer falsehoods and why humans go that route. Also on the literally what morals are. What does that mean? Objective morality. I don't believe in objective morality. I don't believe in objective anything anymore at this point. I mean, it's hard to. At least 20 years. Oh, okay. Well, I bet right now, if you pick it up now as an adult, you will have very different thoughts on it. Because I wonder if I read this when I was younger, what I would have thought. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think it's neat that I came to philosophy at my age. Not at a young age. Maybe if I had a friend that was into it earlier, I might have gotten into it. Because then I would have had a buddy to chat with, but yeah. So that book, Will to Power, that he never finished, I will read it eventually. But I heard it's got problems because his sister kind of put it together, which is kind of fun. I can't wait to look at it. Do you know anything about that, Lazarus? Is that something you've heard about? I've heard that his sister threw it together. His sister's the one that I think, yeah. I think she was a little crooked. I'm going to go look that up. I don't want to say that, but I think she was a little... Thus spake Zarathustra. I just started reading it because, or spoke. It's thus spoke Zarathustra. Not the song. I read it because I keep getting reference to it. That's the problem with philosophy. As you're reading, they're referring to things. And then you're like, well, now I got to go read that. Now I got to go read that. My whole journey's been this mix match of insanity because of that. These guys are all citing each other. I mean, really, if you try to read it passively, you will get nowhere with this. You have to decide you're going to read it, decide you're going to understand it, watch lectures, and in my case, I bought a study guide. So I'll read his thing, then I'll go read the study guide, and then I'll go read it again. And now it's like, okay, I'm getting the concepts. It's just sometimes he uses, I don't like the word flowery, but he uses words like an artist would, not like a scientist. He knows that by certain wordages, it stimulates you to think in certain ways. Uh-oh, Fallon had a message deleted. Uh-oh, Zalthon's yelling at Fallon. I don't know why. I am going to fix it so people can swear on here. I don't care anymore. Yes, you can please. Some of the personal unfinished. Yeah, I'm sure she made money on it. But, I mean, if it's his final works and it wasn't released, that's cool. I mean, I don't know if he wanted it to come out. But whatever, it's out. And the guy's literally a legendary philosopher at this point. And so people clearly want to read everything he wrote. Even the stuff he might not have intended to read. I mean, look, the Silmarillion that Tolkien wrote, I don't think that was ever intended to be released. And because of that, they're developing a TV show, and the Hobbit movies a lot of it came from those books, the Silmarillion. Selected bibliographies are always interesting. Well, honestly, the Nietzsche stuff, I'm not going to stop reading it. I'm in it all the way. My will to power for this year is to make myself, my fortitude and my mental capacities, I want it to be stronger. I want to be more disciplined. I do want to take more personal time to do simple things like sitting and staring at the sky or noticing natural phenomena. And my will to power is that. And I do believe by doing those things, I will satisfy my ego. And I will be a better person. And if I'm a better person and I'm more powerful, and when I mean more powerful, I don't mean dominating groups of humans or being rich. It's not what I mean. More powerful in my own facility of how I can run my own stuff, I think it benefits all those around me, my friends and my family. And why would I not want to do that? That makes my dopamine go off too. Feeling that notion. Wait, you made a reference to Might is Right and it got pulled? I'm curious. Is there a way of you telling me what it was without you saying it? Because that's weird. The book Might is Right is fantastic. Yes, it sounds a little racist-y and it sounds kind of harsh and it literally craps on everything. Every race, every religion, everything. It just blah. But it does it for a reason. It's like a poetic reason. The other thing is what he's saying in the book, it's a harsh reality. You know, it's not pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty. It's not supposed to make anybody feel good. It's not a book that you pick up and go, I'm going to live by these rules. I picked it up, read it, and said, this is how the world works. How do I use that notion of the world working this way so that I do well in this situation and I live a prosperous, peaceful life under this notion? That's how I saw it. What's this say? She did. I saw it. So why was Might is Right deleted? I don't understand why that. So you mean the book? You can't cite the book Might is Right? I'm curious. I don't understand. That's crazy. I mean, we are corporately turning into how China's internet works. Corporately. That's weird. Because I don't... Yeah, I'm going to look into this. I hate this. Oh! She just got deleted again, Fallon. What the... I hate that. Okay, we have to see what this is. This is very weird. I don't like these censorship rules. I'm going to literally remove it so that you can say whatever you want. Yeah, I don't like it. Ugh. Creepy. Has anybody seen what's going on in China? So their vice president is in a little bit of a sex scandal, and the person that called out is a very famous tennis player, called out the vice president. The Twitter of China not only deleted the tweet, deleted her account and anybody else who mentioned it. But the problem is, P-I-S-S-I-C. We see, Ruby, how you just wrote that? I've been to websites that won't let you even write it that way. It knows what you're doing. It's really scary. I was on a website typing once, and everything I was trying to type, it was deleting. Yeah, it's so scary. If that's the world we end up living in, where there's a filter that literally won't let me communicate to you, it's weird. I mean, they literally were going to try to do this fact-checking thing on our OS messages, too. So if I send a private message, it'll warn the person. What? It's going to do it with our words, too. It'll know when I'm saying something and go back and delete it, you know? There'll be a delay. So China, the problem is the cat got out of the bag too quick, and everybody started talking about this scandal. So it's kind of a big deal. Yeah, censorship's bad in all shapes and sizes. All of it. I hate it all. On that note, I'm going to go read more. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the opera, and I'll give you a report on that. I can't wait. I'll take cool pictures. I love the gift shop, and I'm trying to get a dinner reservation, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get one. Matt Lion, what's up? The live feed's going to go off in a second, so you can watch the rerun. The rerun should be cool. I feel weird because tonight's subject, I don't have my head wrapped around all the way. You're watching me wrap my head around some big subjects. Will to power is a big one. Once I started to grasp it, I started to notice it now. And I'm going to keep reading about it, keep studying about it. And I have 2 beef and cheese empanadas waiting for me right now from my favorite place. And I'm going to go eat them. What else do I have to say? We're getting close to 100 episodes, folks. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do a giveaway on my 100th episode that will involve some cool stuff. 98. 2 more, not next week, but sooner than later it's going to happen. The other thing is, as I get closer to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll do something really nuts. I need help with this. Please pass it on. Send out, oh, what's that say? Oh, what is that? What is Norma? Tell me more. 53rd. Huh. Oh, there's a Sicilian. All right. I'll, you know what? I'm going to look as soon as I get off, Lilith, and I might make a reservation for me and my daughter. What's it called? Norma. On it. Well, this has been fun. I love learning. I love sharing stuff. This is a great group. We have really cool people in here. If you are new to this channel, please hit that like and hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask. The donations, great. If you got it, cool. When I get them, I freak out and love it. When I don't get them, I don't care. I'm not doing the show for the donations. I do live performing full time. So when they come in, it goes right into the show. But I want people to subscribe. I want to get to the 1,000 mark. Once I'm at 1,000, it opens the channel up a bit. Right now, it's hard to even find my channel if you search it. So you guys are all helping me. I appreciate every bit of help. It really does help a lot. It does. What else before I go? That's it, man. Have a great week. Enjoy. We are in the middle of fall. It's beautiful here right now. I can't wait for spring. I'm already ready for spring. I know, we haven't even gotten to winter yet. Or snow. But yeah, I love spring. Spring is magic here. And the winter, I use it to learn. I'm home a little more. I'm not out as much. And last year, I'm not kidding. I learned more and read more in the last year than I ever have in my whole life. In 1 year. Just saying. Pretty crazy. Thank you, Lilith. Yeah, Mooner's going to have a great time. Her mind's going to be blown. And she when I told her we were going, she ordered a little dress that she had wanted. I was like, "Aw." She gets it. I'm going to put on my my leisure suit, my black leisure suit. I don't know if I'm going to wear my cape tomorrow. Sometimes I wear my cape. I might wear my black leather fringe. I don't know yet. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. Anywho, oh, the Carlton Arms? Of course! I know that place. I've stayed there before. I've partied there before. I have some crazy stories about that place. Ye old Carlton Arms. They're still around and they're cheap. Yeah, pretty cool. Well, folks, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Cardone. This was episode 98. I'm going to take us out with the outro video. And, yeah, party on, Wayne. Have a good one.